Hey everyone, today I want to talk about how acupuncture or acupressure can assist your digestive healing journey. So this video will not be discussing specific points that you can push on to assist various parts of your body and your health. That information you can find in many different places, and I'll include some information at the end of this about what you can do and where you could go to get some of those information and those points. That's really easy to find. This is going to discuss specifically the what's the word? Benefit, kind of explaining also what it is. I think what's missing a lot of times in alternative health is the descriptions of how this actually relates to the body. Okay, great. There's this alternative thing. I guess I'll try it. But there's not the discussion of, okay, this part of it's maybe like proven in science. This part isn't. Here's the proposed thoughts on what it actually does, and then just try it. There's a missing link there. There's enough resources discussing acupuncture, but not about how it potentially relates to the physical body and health. It's kind of just discussed within the system, but not in the broader health system. So that's kind of what this is going to be. So if you don't know, acupuncture is an Eastern treatment modality. It's a very ancient, thousands of years old, similar to Ayurvedic medicine in India, which maybe I'll discuss in another video. But what it is, and you'll see on your health benefits potentially here in Canada, traditional Chinese medicine or TCM. You'll see maybe acupuncture benefits you have, anything like that. You might have coverage for these kind of modalities. Basically, the thought is acupuncture is a part of traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine is a whole way of viewing the body, way of viewing life, way of viewing health that's different than our conventional Western scientific understanding that you'd see in medical journals, etc. Now, there's starting to be a crossover between conventional health and traditional Chinese medicine concepts, and there's starting to be actual research articles, not starting to be, there's been for decades, but about like how maybe does this, for example, the spleen in traditional Chinese medicine, how does that function, what's stated there that it does relate to our more Western understanding what the spleen does, in science, quote unquote. So traditional Chinese medicine includes herbs, it includes diet, it includes systems of thinking about the rhythms of the days and the years and the months, lunar cycles, all that. And then acupuncture is a modality you can use to help balance the energetic aspect of the body, which is a huge part of traditional Chinese medicine. So you might have heard of, I'm sure you've heard acupuncture before, that common word. And if you're working with digestive issues in particular and you'd like to try out this or learn more about it, that's what this is supposed to help with, hopefully. So acupuncture is where you take a needle and you stick it in the body on various certain points, and then you leave them in there for a certain time, and that having the needle in there is supposed to balance the energetic pathway, which relates to different things. So there's these major energetic pathways throughout the body, which are beginning to be shown to correlate to some interesting anatomical things in science. So, are they where the nerves go? Not exactly. Are they where the arteries go? Not exactly, but they correlate. They found that specific areas where the acupuncture points are said to be in Chinese medicine, they found that the tissue characteristics are a bit different there. So maybe there's a slight amount more of collagen is an example of the tissue. So it's a little more fibrous there, so you've noticed things like this, and there's been some interesting studies on that. I'm not going to get into the scientific basis and the proven aspect of it or not. You can do your own research on that. Let me know if you're curious of what I found. I don't really go too much into that anymore myself. I just try it and use it on my own health. So this is why I'm sharing this. So there's energetic pathways. There's 12 main ones, meridians, and there's tons of minor ones and little linking pathways between them. Each of the pathways, the major ones, they correspond to organs. So you have a lung meridian, you have a large intestine meridian, small intestine, etc. So say your digestion is off, in traditional Chinese medicine, that corresponds really strongly to the stomach meridian, which makes sense, and the spleen. So the spleen helps process material that you eat into energy. on all the various ways, like in traditional science, energy in the body, ATP would be the word for it. But also it deals with qi, which is the energetic name for energy in traditional Chinese medicine. So basically acupuncture, you stick needles in various points, and that helps balance the meridian, the energy, and the corresponding organ related to it, and muscles too, because muscles correspond as well to these pathways. Acupressure is the same thing as acupuncture, except you're not using needles, using your finger and just pushing. So what I've found in my own digestive health journey is when I use acupressure, first of all, I can do it because I don't have needles at my house and I don't know what I'm doing. So acupressure is nice because you can just push on a point. It helps relieve the pressure in that meridian or balance that meridian the same way. You push on the same points as a needle might go in. I haven't done a ton of research on the effectiveness versus acupuncture. Honestly, I found it effective. So if you want to do a deep dive into the research of that, go nuts. But this video is supposed to just be bones, just help you out. So basically what I found with digestive stuff over the years is that there are various points that you can push on that genuinely get you so into your body so fast. With digestive issues and working with dis-ease in the body digestively and emotionally and mentally, and if you've been dealing with this, you know they are very connected. I've found pushing on certain points in the body to do a couple incredible things. One of the biggest things it does is it really brings you down into your body out of your head. So there are specific points that are said to decrease, for example, anxiety, depression, other mood issues, mind chatter, monkey brain, all that. I almost said monkey brain. But overall, I found that just pushing on these points, even if they're not the specific like anxiety points, they really help balance you. It's crazy. And so again, maybe I'll go into a video with specific points that I push on, but you can find that information. And so I guess since we're talking about it, I'll say now. So the person that I found to be really awesome with this is a lady who has a channel called Acupro, ACUPRO, Acupro. She's great. She always says she's French. She's French speaking English, teaching traditional Chinese medicine, which is great. Yeah, so yeah, that's one of the things that gets you in your body. So if you're in your head, if you're foggy, if you can't think straight, if you have these mental aspects going on, it is incredible when you push on these certain points. It just goes shoo, right into your body so fast. It's amazing. And so that's one of the biggest benefits I've found. From that, then obviously, as you know, if you're watching this for digestion issues, you know that then affects your digestion so strongly, right? Because of the mind-body connection. And so that's one of the biggest things I've found. And then secondly, from a musculoskeletal perspective, or our muscles and our skeleton, or that part of our body, it's really, really beneficial for reducing tightness and tension. And so if you're tight in your hips because you sat all day at work or wherever you're tight, if you push on this area, certain areas, you'll feel, not only will the tension decrease, but again, you'll feel yourself getting into your body, and it will, it'll help you balance. You'll feel relief very tangibly from just a tightness or an ache perspective. It's crazy, especially around the hips. It's extremely powerful. The side of your legs, which typically is called your IT band, but that's another discussion. But yeah, so that is really powerful for that. What else would I say? Sorry, this isn't super organized. Yeah, so those are the big things. And so yeah, it gets you in your body, great for muscle tension. It helps you understand your body more too. That's another huge benefit, is it really brings you into, okay, when I push here, so I was feeling anxious, and then I pushed on this point, now I feel this. Oh, that's interesting. Cool, okay. So it helps you become more aware of your, more self-aware, aware of your body and space, your mind and time, where you're at right now. It really gets you into the present. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about this kind of general ideas. I found it really beneficial, and there's a lot of points. If you just go to the Acupro and look up digestion, or even fatigue or anxiety or mood, you'll see a ton of stuff, and she'll show you certain points. The low leg, there's a lot of very good spots. Yeah, and the meridians, they run different places, so inside of the leg, outside of the leg. arms, your trunk, your chest. So yeah, I would completely give it a go if you are working with some digestive stuff, some mental aspects, obviously connected to that. It can be really life-changing, and I do find, one thing I'll say is I do find it brings in your body, and it can stop the mind chatter. I don't find it enhances, I'll say, like joy. Like, it really gets you grounded. And then sometimes, though, that actually brings up more stuff because the mind slows down and the feelings are allowed to come up. And so be conscious of that. And I'll also just say, when you go to this, if you're pregnant, be a little cautious with some points, because that's one of the contraindications if you're pregnant. Yeah, so you want to watch certain points to not push on. So just keep that in mind, and there's disclaimers in most videos about that. So check into that first. But yes, I hope that was helpful. I know it was very general and a little scattered, but that's some information, generally speaking, on acupuncture and acupressure, and just kind of some thoughts around that and how you can use it for digestion. More specifics, there's way more specifics, and I might get into that another time. If you're interested, let me know. But yeah, hope that helps, and all the best on your path.